Hello, hello. I think I'm live. I'm just gonna hold for a second and make sure I'm getting the wheel. Am I live? Okay, I think I'm live now. Fantastic, it says live. Hello, hello, hello. Lynn Horde here, the Joy Coach, back for day 4 of the 7-day Joy Challenge. And today we're talking about play. Now, if you haven't met me before, I've been doing this for about 7 years ago, 2014. Yeah, six years now, helping spread the word about joy. So I help people tap into the power of joy to transform their work, their lives, and the world. Because joy is such powerful emotion that if we all focus on having a bit more joy in our lives, we can actually create incredible ripple effects in our lives, our families, our community, and out. So it's a really powerful tool, and so I'm really grateful that you're here listening into this Joy Challenge. So today we're talking about play, and of course it's a really fun topic, and it's also a little bit of a difficult topic for some people. It doesn't really matter where you are on the joy journey because it's often a question I get from new clients, from people who come into my world. They're like, yeah, this play thing, it's almost like they're like, how does that work exactly? So why do we struggle with joy? Because we have so many misconceptions about it. So when we grow up, we become adults, often we're taught that being play is something that you do as a child, not necessarily as an adult. So that's one of the very first hurdles that sometimes people have to jump over and get over in order to bring more play into their life, because we might be perceived, if we are being playful or being in play, that we are foolish. We might feel foolish or be worried that we're going to be perceived as foolish. We often, it's play is kind of something that you do for fun, so it's not necessarily productive. And so some people are like, wow, that's a waste of time, why would I bother spending time playing? And for other people it's just like, well, I wouldn't even know where to start. It's like, what would I do that I could think about to be playful? And we're going to talk about some ideas like at the end. But one of the reasons that I talk about play a lot, in this whole joy context, in the context of bringing more joy into your life, is because play is an amazing tool to shift your energy and to bring yourself into that state of joy, that we're often looking for. And science actually shows that play is a really powerful tool. And if you have incorporated play into your life, or if you've, some organizations are doing incredible things about like having playrooms for their employees, with billiards or video games, because they are recognizing now the incredible contribution that play can make to both work and outside of work. So as examples, outside of work, if you have had some play or you're feeling playful, you can feel it. You're more relaxed, like your shoulders are dropping, you're more easy, and you actually breathe more easily because the tension and the stress that you might have been carrying, it kind of releases from your body. We also create deeper bonds, like when we're in play with somebody, because we're open, we actually create more connection and more bonds with the people around us. So it's a way of deepening our relationships when we get to play with somebody in some way. And again, we'll talk about some of those, some of the ways that you might, just give you some inspiration for some ideas around that. And I just want to make sure I'm relaxed, be present. And of course, the other really beautiful piece is play allows you to be present. So, if you're somebody who worries a lot, who spends a lot of time in their head, hands up, I am often, that's definitely been me in the past and frequently in the present. So being able to play actually gets me out of my head, it gets me into the present moment and actually just enjoying, what I'm doing in that moment. So there's an incredible amount of benefit for incorporating play into your life, in whatever way, that you find that to be possible. And I'm definitely going to give you several examples today. And there are two different ways that I kind of think about play. It's about, doing playful activities. So, if you're stuck around that, you could think about back into your childhood, like what did you enjoy? Did you enjoy, for instance, marbles or Jenga or pillow fights? Certainly did enjoy pillow fights. I remember those. Did you enjoy colouring in? What was it? Maybe it's just actually like rolling around on the grass. Now, I know that these might sound silly and you might feel like, oh, I don't want to do that because it might seem silly. So the trick here is to really just find things, remembering you can do it in the privacy of your own home or the privacy of your own backyard. So you don't have to begin these things out in public. You can just start small, because the key here is those playful activities can help you connect into your inner playful spirit. So that's kind of what I call it. And it's been a really beautiful journey for me to reconnect with my own inner playful spirit. I think of her as like my 4-year-old self, and she runs around and smiles and goes, oh, look at that. And she gets really excited about, being able to play. And the more I have connected with that part of myself, the more she comes out to play just naturally. Like, as an example, I've just started running again, and about a block that way, so I'm looking outside my windows at the moment, so a block that way there is a hill, and it's a steep hill, and I walk up the steep hill, I run around the fields at the top, and then I walk back down to get home. Now, the first time I did that, I finished my run and I actually walked down the steep hill. And then the second time I did that, I got to the hill and I could feel that part of me actually go, oh, it's a hill, it's a steep hill, let's run really fast down it. And I just chuckled at myself because as an adult, I could hear my mind going, oh, that's probably not a good idea. That could be a little bit dangerous. What happens if, I twist my ankle on some uneven ground or something? So I could feel my adult self being logical and responsible and being aware of the potential dangers of me doing that. But what I've learnt is to really sink into that part of me and allow her out. So I could feel I wanted to run down that hill as fast as I could, really striding out and feel the wind in my hair. It's like, it's something that a kid does. You run really fast down the hill. And I was like, and of course I had to check in with myself, Lynn, what happens if you trip and fall? I'm like, it's grass. Trip and fall, I'll roll on the grass for a little bit, it'll be fine. And of course I was also being careful where I was placing my feet. So I found a wonderful compromise. So this part of me could come out and play. We had a super fun run, down that, and I do it every time now. I get to that part of the hill, I have to stop and take a breather, and then we run down the hill and really just enjoy that moment of physical expression and being playful with what's going on around me. So that's just a simple example of how it kind of manifests itself in my life. And another one is like a friend of mine, she's reconnected with adventure computer games. So she's been actually playing this, I think it's called Zelda. I'm not really sure, I've not done this one myself, but she's having a blast playing, reconnecting with that part of herself. When she was younger, she used to play these fun adventure games, so everyone is different. And as I said, it's about finding ways that work for you. So maybe, it's a colouring in book to begin with, just a little secret pillow fight. Maybe it's watching a Disney movie, so it's really thinking back to, what did I enjoy as a child, or into my teenagehood, or what in the past have I really enjoyed and has felt playful and brought me that sense of play. And I'd really encourage you to bring that into your life. Maybe just in the week ahead, choose one thing that you could do to actually have a moment of play. And I'd really love to hear in the comments what that might be for you. Because the other thing to, it's a journey, so you can start wherever you are. And because one of the other things I often hear is that people are aware of how they like to play, they're kind of connected to that part of themselves, but they don't make time for it. So this is something that I talk about in my 5 steps joy infusion process to bring more joy into your life, and it's the second one. So if you know the things that make you, that allow you to feel playful or that are playful for you, the other step is to make sure you're making time for them. So remembering all of the benefits that I mentioned earlier. So allowing time for play in your day or your week is not a waste of time. It's actually an incredible investment in your well-being. So that's what we've been talking about today, is the spirit of play, how to bring it into your life, all of the incredible benefits that it can bring, both, in your working life as well as your home life, as well as in your relationships. So again, I'd love to hear below, what is the one thing you're going to go ahead and do this week that is going to be a burst of play for you? If you're willing to share, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. If you've enjoyed today's Day 4 challenge, I share a lot more like this in my new group, Ignite Your Joy. It's a community for trailblazers and leaders who do want to tap into the power of joy to change their lives, the world, and their work. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can check out the link in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm doing pretty good on the timing, sticking to around 10 minutes, and I'll be back for tomorrow, today's Friday, so I'll be back on Monday. So taking the weekend off, I'll be back on Monday for the next installment of the Joy Challenge. Have a fantastic weekend wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.